It's a little trick I learned back in the day from traveling for work. This makes it so nobody sits by you on a Southwest airplane.
Last fall, TCU was our first trip of the season. I was living in Austin, Texas at the time, so I drove up and met those guys a little bit later.
He said he was a little bit later? Here's what went down. All right, we roll up to the campus at TCU, and we don't know where Justin is. Justin is like, I don't know, a couple hours late. We get out of the stadium, we call him straight to voicemail. He side buttoned us. And that just does not fly with the crew. Justin is the one that has the car, so we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. So we are rolling around campus with our luggage. I got my backpack, everyone's got roll-on luggage, and it's getting a little heated, only because I don't think it looks good with with like 4 guys rolling around with luggage.
Drove in a little bit later, picked him up. We got to the stadium and
we connected with a gal named Nellie, who's a football operations manager, and they allowed us to do all the things and highlight some of the facilities.
When you walk in, they have the sick trophy case. So they have a Heisman Trophy in there, so that was pretty cool to get to see a Heisman Trophy firsthand.
They have a cryotherapy chamber there for all the athletes to be able to use.
TCU's football facilities are pretty ridiculous. So we go in, and it starts off in their practice field, and it's just this huge football field inside. The weight room was probably my favorite. They had these 100-pound plates, like these purple 100-pound plates, and I just could not believe it. I mean, 2 of those plates were bigger than I was, which was pretty crazy.
We just kind of got to like go in and out of the office. So like we're roaming around, acting like we're part of the team in the football facility, and like security guards would let us do whatever. So that was kind of fun.
Got to go see all the founders' suites. They built the new stadium without having to raise any debt. They basically, I think they had 12 donors that funded the entire project, and they have their own special suite. Each one of the suites is totally custom to the donor, so some of them could have a ranch theme or a more modern theme. Those suites will never change hands. It's not the type of thing where they buy season tickets for those suites. Those suites will stay in that family.
Through Twitter, we got connected with one of the assistant ADs there. So whenever we go on these trips, we try to think, what's something unique that we could take them maybe from the state of Washington. So Marty's in-laws are from this little town called Pullman, Washington, and there's a school there called Washington State. They have this unique cheese, and they sell it at kind of high-end places in Seattle. So we took this can of cheese thinking it might be a fun gift. She actually worked at the school, Washington State University. And on top of it, she said, yeah, I cannot wait. I ordered one of these cans of cheese, and that just so happened to be the one we brought. So we literally we pull it out and we show her, and her face just drops. Like the fact that we brought this cheese, and I swear we were in after that.
We got invited to the varsity tailgate. So they had a lot of former alumni, former people that were a part of the football program in some way. So they toured us through, introduced us to a bunch of folks, fed us.
We meet this guy there, and he asks everyone, he's like, where's Marty? And I'm like, oh, I'm right here, nice to meet you. He takes my head and he goes, you're my favorite, and takes my head and literally presses it against his chest, like literally smothers my face in his chest. He then points at Justin and he goes, you're my wife's favorite. And it was like the craziest thing. I mean, we almost felt an instant connection with these guys. They've been following us ever since, again, we were coming to TCU, and each one of us have like these quirks and whatnot about us, and it's just cool to see that we can kind of connect with some of our fans.
We actually got to watch the whole game from the sidelines. It started out originally that we were just going to get pregame passes and get to watch warm-ups. And then Gretchen, the AD, just said, hey, if nobody says anything, just stay down here the whole game.
Yeah, it's a blackout game. Everyone's wearing black. The place is loud. It's crazy. And they have this guy named Trevon Boykin, who is he's a Heisman hopeful, and he just displayed a crazy show for all the fans.
We tried to sub in at one point to get in on the play, but that didn't work out as well.
Really cool atmosphere down on the field. I mean, the student section there an hour early, fully packed. Music is bumping. I mean, the atmosphere is just crazy. Everyone's hyped up, and it's just really unbelievable.
I look over and I see John Schneider, the general manager for the Seahawks. So all of us being from the Seattle area, we were pretty jacked up to see him. And I personally wanted to go talk to him. He has a foundation that supports kids with autism due to his son. They've blessed our family with, through his foundation, with an iPad and some things like that for development. And so he was just the most down-to-earth guy, and we told him we were Hawks fans. And that was a really cool moment to get to meet him. And all of us were kind of, giddy talking to him about the Seahawks. So that was really neat.
It's kind of a smaller, I would say a smaller place, around 60-ish thousand, but really cool place to be on a Thursday night.
Football operations invited us actually kind of through the tunnel where the players and coaches go out and back up into the post-game conference area.
We got to talk to a lot of the players, one-on-one, and it was just a cool way to kind of connect with them and not worry about all the lights and, all the crazy interview questions, and really got to know some of the players and just ask them, real-life questions like, what's your favorite cereal or your favorite color gummy worm?
So they let everybody go interview the players, all the reporters, and they literally swarm these two guys. And so there's this one kid who's in the corner, a player by himself that nobody wants to go interview. So we just went and kicked it with him and asked him random questions, and he was super down to earth. We didn't know what to expect because it was a Thursday night game, and the people in the athletic department kind of warned us that, every Saturday there's a line going out the door of people to get in the stadium, where Thursdays aren't really like that. So I think they really got up and did a good job for Thursday, but it was definitely a different buzz than a Saturday game. But we do need to give them credit. For it being a Thursday night, they killed it. But I would love to see what it's like on a Saturday sometime there.